We worried about people it's 2,000 homeless people in Manhattan right now, but they putting immigrants inside a kid's school.
Woo! How about a little bit of outrage? The day they start turning your public schools for your children into migrant camps. And look how New York Post is putting it out there. And the names that they're dropping, check this out. Elon Musk warns, migrants are coming for your homes. Look, that's Asian. That's not, they probably are not from Mexico. You think that's bad? It gets worse. Shutting down our schools for migrants. More information that's happening now that you need to know, coming right up. My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. It's because you need to know that this is happening. Kids removed from their schools, forced into remote learning, and parents, the American people, outraged.
We worry about the health of our kids. We worry about the education of our kids.
Tatiana Lerner's son is a junior at James Madison. She helped lead a group of parents and politicians protesting outside the empty school Wednesday. Children were forced to go to remote learning after it was used overnight to evacuate migrants due to high winds at the Floyd Bennett Field tent encampment.
Who's the easiest victim to kick out of their spot? When the migrants that were brought over, taking over, and temporarily not going into schools, but temporarily at camps. Because when the weather gets bad, they're kicking the kids to the curb and taking over the schools. They say it's temporary, but how temporary is it? If kids, which we've learned through something that happened a couple years ago, can learn from home, then do they really need the facility? Lots of them, and a perfect spot to start housing migrants.
If it's a one-time thing, it's bad enough, but if it's going to be a reoccurring event, it's definitely not acceptable.
Assemblywoman Jamie Williams has been raising the alarm about Floyd Bennett Field from the beginning and says now her daughter, a James Madison senior, is sitting at home, not learning a thing.
Don't think they're doing schoolwork. My daughter is home. You know what she has to do today? Submit some missing work.
Go learn at home. By the way, your parents aren't going to be able to go to work because they got to stay and make sure you're okay at your house. Yeah, it's a real thing. Unless people have some type of virus that's going around, keeping them from going to work, who's supposed to be taking care of your kids at home? Where's the adult and where's the education coming from? Well, when there's no education required, but submitting some old work, you guys see how ridiculous this is.
At one point, tensions boiled over during the protest press conference.
You're equating them to being filthy.
Desiree Joy Frias, a Bronx activist and lawyer, accused the gathered group of xenophobia. In fact, there was a bomb threat at the school overnight and many hate-filled calls to school officials, according to New York City Emergency Management Commissioner Zach Iskel, who oversaw the evacuation.
The bomb threat has been cleared by PD, and there's no longer a threat.
Iskel defended the evacuation and the use of Floyd Bennett Field as the best bad option the city has as it struggles to handle thousands of migrants still arriving each week. He says the migrants were out of the high school by 4:30 in the morning, and remote schooling was chosen out of an abundance of caution in case the weather got worse.
Did you guys pick that up? They took them out of one school because they were getting too much kickback, right? And what'd they do? They moved them to a different school. Now, I'm not sure the information was correct, but on another video, I heard it was 3,000 people. And this is the one that happens to be reported. You think it's happening elsewhere? You can bet on it. And look how New York Post is putting it out there. And the names that they're dropping, check this out. Elon Musk warns, migrants are coming for your homes. Look, that's Asian. That's not, they probably are not from Mexico. Like I said, tons of Asians, Iranians. Elon Musk warns migrants are coming for your homes after New York City kids forced out of classrooms. Folks, it's a pretty big deal. And is that what's going on? Are they going to come for our homes? They're coming for our classrooms. That's pretty crazy. Coming for our homes maybe next? And we always want to know how the White House addressed it too, right? Let's check it out.
A whole high school in New York is having remote classes today because the building was needed to house people who came into this country illegally. So what is the president's priority in this case? Is it the migrants or is it the students?
So let me just clear this up a little bit. So yesterday, New York City informed us that as a precaution, They would temporarily relocate migrants staying at Floyd Bennett Field to a nearby high school. As of this morning, all migrants have returned to the facility at Floyd Bennett Field. And so anything specific as to the program and what decided to do and all of the specifics to that, I would certainly refer you to New York City for any additional questions.
But if a working parent had to call out to stay home with their kid today, isn't this Biden immigration policy literally taking money out of people's pockets?
So let me just say, I'm gonna actually go back to your first question for a second because I think I do need to address that.
You guys know she's going back to the first question to do some elaboration because she doesn't want to hit the second question.
When it comes to education, migrants, the economy, the president deals with multiple issues all at once. That is his job. There are multiple things happening all at once. And as it relates to this particular question that you're asking me about New York City, that is something that New York City needs the answers to. That is a process that they took, so they have to answer to that. And as it relates to migrants and what's happening at the border, look, the president has taken this issue very seriously by making sure that on his first day, which is almost 3 years, it'll be a couple weeks, it'll be 3 years ago that he put forward a comprehensive immigration legislation to deal with what's happening with the immigration process, obviously, and also the border. And this is an issue that's been going on for decades. The system has been broken for decades, and the president is the one who has taken action to deal with this while
He's finally the savior, the one that's taking action and making a positive difference. Have you guys seen how much better of a situation we are just in the last few years with migration? He's the one that finally fixed it. Good Lord, I seriously cannot comprehend the people that side with that and honestly think that this is a situation that's getting better. The Build Back Better plan, I think is what they called it. And yeah, things are getting better, aren't they? I mean, I've heard crazy figures, 10 plus million new people in America, I guess you'd say illegally. Camps everywhere. It's not just the South Americans. It's Chinese, it's Iranians, the Turkish, everyone, good or bad. And it just happens to be that most of these people are like military age men, some claiming that they're from Egypt, some claiming they're from Hungary. But how do we know? And why are they all men? Military age, it's the open border policy. And we're getting the good with the bad. And this is how they're fixing it. Now by taking over our schools, kicking the kids out, removing parents from their jobs, making that daily money. So like he said, taking money out of the Americans' pockets. Well, now how are we all going to pay our taxes to support all this? The free cell phones, the free housing, the free transportation, the free medical help, stuff that Americans don't even get. At a time where there's a lot of Americans that could be helped, that's definitely not where the help's going. I'm telling you, a lot of people upset about this.
Like I said, peace, like love, right? I'm a man of all people. I respect all people and all that, right? But let me tell you about all this, how they swindled y'all. They got y'all with all this diversity. Oh, we need to do all this, right? Out there in New York, right? We worried about people it's 2,000 homeless people in Manhattan right now. But they putting immigrants inside a kid's school. Kids cannot go to school today because people that ain't from this country is staying in their school right now. Yo, y'all tighten up out there, man. Yo, peace, like love, man. This is out of pocket.
He says this is out of pocket, which means no good. Everyone, Americans across the board, are getting ticked off about this. They want to create segregation, right? Well, the only segregation that's happening here, the Americans are coming together on this one. Pretty soon, it's going to be the American people against the immigrants. That's going to be the only segregation left. That's the big news that's buzzing out there right now, is now that our public schools are getting taken over for the illegal migrants. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like button, of course. Share this if you guys think that this should be spread out so more people know. And if you guys like news awareness stuff like this, these two videos right up there are also super good videos that you might have missed. As I know more, I'll keep you posted, keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. See you on the next one.